Tradingofftilt. I'm right in this video, we're going to be going over the 8 wave count that I have for graph or GRT. And to start out with the macro time frame, we don't have a lot to go over because this coin doesn't have a lot of history to it. But we are going to be calling this a wave 1 up here into these highs, and we're going to be seeing it's a primary wave 1, and we're currently in a primary wave 2. So after we complete this, we're going to be coming up here for this primary wave 3, 4, 5. And I kind of measured out this primary wave 3, given that we have a low right here. So taking the length of wave 1 on log scale, and then assuming this wave 2 may end a little bit lower, so we're going to be playing it a little bit more conservatively. You know, if it were to end here, then the 1.618 on log scale would be coming up around here, around $80, 80 US dollars, which would be a pretty massive increase because the wave 1 only came up to a little bit under $3 US dollars. But then assuming that the wave 2 has a little bit left to complete, then we could expect around 50 US dollars. So somewhere up here, or in the case that it comes even a little bit lower, then around 50, or 50 to 70-ish. So that's what I'm looking at in the long term for graph, assuming the fundamentals remain positive and that there's continued adoption of this coin over time. We could expect this wave 3 to come all the way up here, and then I'll top out here for the wave 5, which could be above 100 US dollars. So then moving into this section right here to show you guys what we could be looking at for this wave 2 correction. Let's hide this. Well, we actually don't have to hide the wave count, but let's zoom in a little bit more to the 4-hour chart. And I have two main options that I want to show you guys today for what we could be looking at, and that includes a WXY or a ABC zigzag. Now we're going to start with the WXY, and that one is a little bit more complicated because we're saying this is all a triple zigzag for an ABC for this wave W. This would be starting out with this leading diagonal for the wave A, up the wave B, down for this wave C. This would be this minor wave X. I'm going to hide this. And then we get an ABC for this wave Y, another wave X right here. Then we get another ABC for this wave Z. And that would complete this intermediate wave W. So I can zoom in a little bit more to show you guys what we're looking at. ABC with W, ABC wave X, ABC wave Y. This would be ABC wave X, ABC wave Z. So then moving up from these lows right here, we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to give us an A wave of a zigzag, and then we get a wave B down here, which would probably be an ABC. This would probably be something along the lines. This could actually be a WXY as well for a WXY into these lows, or it could be an ABC if we call this the top. This could actually all be the top right here. This could be wave 3. And this could all be the wave A, and this could be an ABC for the wave B. That's another way you could count it. And then moving up from the wave B, we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete this wave C of the zigzag. So this is all a zigzag right here, and that would be this wave X. Now moving off the highs of this wave X, I'm going to show you guys how we could count this section right here. But for this count, I don't have these subdivisions. I'm going to show you guys these subdivisions when we go into the zigzag. But keep in mind that I'm calling this wave A down here. This would be a wave B, and this is a wave C, which may be complete. We're going to investigate that a little bit later, but it may have a little bit left to be completed, or a little bit left. This could be a wave 4, and we could be coming down for wave 5. So we have to investigate a little bit more later on. But the way we would probably subdivide this is by saying this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the wave A. This would be a wave ABC wave B. This would be probably a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave C if we were to call this correct. Now we could also say, like I mentioned, this could be a 1, 2, and this could be a 3, 4, all of the C wave, and we could be coming down for the wave 5 to complete the C wave. So we're going to go into the zigzag count. I'm going to show you guys what we could be looking at in this section in more detail. But that's basically the gist of what we're looking at on the WXY count. We may have already completed it, but like the zigzag count, which I'm going to show you guys, we may have a little bit left. So the zigzag count starts out a little bit peculiar. I'm calling this all the only way to call this all a motive wave for a 5-wave move is by saying it is a leading diagonal, and the wave 1 is very tricky, but then you see the wave 2 makes a nice zigzag, wave 3 makes a nice zigzag, and wave 4 makes a nice zigzag. So the only downside to this count right here, and this would be a diagonal on arithmetic. The only downside is that this wave 1 does not make a nice zigzag, so it's hard to get an ABC out of this wave 1. But giving it a little bit of leniency, we could assume that it is a diagonal, given that the wave 2, 3, 4, and 5 all make zigzags. So then we're putting the wave 5 down here, that would be the completion of an intermediate wave A. So this would actually all be a minor degree, and then this would all be intermediate wave A, this would all be intermediate wave B, and we may have come down for intermediate wave C, or we have a little bit left. So then moving into the wave B, we get an A, B, C like the previous guy that I showed you guys. This would all be a zigzag for 1, 2. This could be a 3, 4 here, or the 3 could be here, 4 here, 5 here. So there's multiple ways you could count that, but those are 2 ways that I would say are valid to count the wave A. Then the wave B, A, B, C, wave C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, like I was mentioning to you guys, we're going to get into how we could subdivide this section right here to show you guys, to give you guys some evidence that we may have bottomed out, but also to give you guys some counter evidence that we have a little bit left to go. So going into this section right here, a proper way we could count this is by saying this is a 1, 2, and this is all a triangle for a 3, 4. Now, we get perfect decreasing volume for this triangle. It starts out pretty high for this wave A. Well, this would actually be the bottom of wave A. We get a nice volume spike, and then it decreases throughout the progression of this triangle, which is exactly what you want to see. And then upon the break of the wave E, this would be the wave E being put in right here, we get increasing volume to show that we're getting a breakout from the triangle. So that, I'm going to call this a triangle all day, which means it has to be a wave 4. So that's how I would count it, a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this would be a wave 5 down here for a minute wave 1. And then we came up for a minute wave 2, and then moving to the minute wave 3, we could count it as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, putting down here, and then we get an A, B, C. This would all be a flat, so this would be A, B, C. This would probably be A, B, C for the wave B, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this would complete this minute wave 4, and then moving off this minute wave 4, this gets a little bit tricky because now we have to decide whether we get a 5-wave impulse into this move or not. And it's possible to get a 5-wave impulse into this move, but I'm gonna say it's not pretty because we'd have to call this a wave 1, 2. This would be a 3, 4, 5 to complete this minuet wave 1. This would all be a minuet wave 2, and since this would be a subminuet wave 1 here, so I'm gonna show you guys real quick. If we're calling this a subminuet wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we could see this subminuet wave 2 is actually longer and retraces more than this minuet wave 2. So you don't really get the nice wave personality. You don't get the nice symmetry between the degrees structures there. You want to see wave 2 being a little bit longer compared to this wave 2 right here. But moving off that wave 2, we get a 1, 2. Then this is probably, we might be able to say this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for this wave 3. And then we encounter the same problem where this is probably a wave 3, 4 up 1 lesser degree. However, this wave 3, 4, rather this wave 4 is shorter than this wave 4 of a lesser degree. So you also run into the same problem that we had right here. But then moving down, you get a wave 5 here for this minuet 3, minuet 3, up for the minuet 4, down for the minuet 5 to complete this minute wave 5. And that would complete this, this would actually all be a minor degree to complete this wave 2, which would complete the wave C of the zigzag. Now, like I mentioned, there are multiple ways you could count this. I think a better way that would offer better wave symmetry in this section right here would actually be putting, so we're going to keep the 1, 2, 3, 4 as so, but then in this 5th wave, a better way to count it would probably be saying that this is all, so I'm going to hide these subminuet wave counts. That would be putting this minuet wave 1, 2 here. And this is all part of an extended 3rd wave where this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all for this wave 3. Then we get a wave 4 here, and we're currently in the wave 4. We actually completed the wave 4 right here. And that would mean we're currently in this minute wave 5. So like I mentioned, I had the degrees all 1 back. So assuming this is all a minor degree, this would all be a minute wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we can see in this wave 4, we might have gotten an A, B, C as so. And off this high right here, we got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So zooming into this section, let's zoom in a little bit more. We may be able to call this wave 1 of this wave 5, and we're currently in a wave 3, where this is a 1, 2, we may be coming down for a 3, 4, 5. That's one option we could be looking at. Now, like I mentioned, it is possible to say that a 5-wave impulse was completed into the lows. However, we don't really get a nice 5-wave impulse off these lows to give us confirmation this could be a wave 1. So if you want to get confirmation that the lows are in, typically you want to look for a nice 5-wave impulse off the lows to signal that it's at least a wave 1 or a wave A. So if you get a 5-wave impulse off the lows, you have to get a move back and then another move up, which would be a wave 3 or a wave C. So we didn't really get a 5-wave move off the lows, which doesn't really make it too promising that the lows are in. However, going back to previous price action, we could see something pretty similar if we go back to June of 2021, where we see a 3-wave move off the lows right here for an ABC. And then we get a pullback that's above these lows right here, which may mean that this is simply a 1, 2. Or it could be a truncated wave 5, but this would be a very truncated wave 5. So I think it's more likely it's some sort of funky wave 1, 2. And we could be getting the same thing over here where this is an ABC, or it looks like an ABC. Then we're getting a wave 2 pullback, and we're going to keep moving up. That would be very similar to what we saw back here, as I mentioned, where we got a pullback and kept moving up for this wave A. So we have to wait and see. Another way we could count it also, if we're assuming the bottom was in right here, is a diagonal, of course, saying this is a ABC wave 1. This was an ABC wave 2. So if this were to be a zigzag, this would be a pretty sharp wave B. For a zigzag, you don't want to see the wave B come past the 0.618 of the wave A. So to clarify, if this were an ABC, then we can see this wave B comes up quite far, but giving it a little bit of leniency, we might be able to say this is a wave 2 for an ABC. And then perhaps we're coming up for wave 3, and we could get something like this: ABC wave 3, ABC wave 4, ABC wave 5. That's a possibility we have to keep in our minds, but I'm not going to be considering it because I just don't think it's that likely given all things considered. I think it's more likely, to be honest, that we either completed it down here and we're going to be getting more of an impulsive wave structure as so, where we just get a pretty funky wave 1, or alternatively, which I think is actually even a little bit more likely than that, is saying this is a wave 4 here and we're coming down for wave 5, where this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's how I'm viewing it, the graph as far as 8 waves go. Now zooming out a little bit more, I want to show you guys that I think the risk to reward ratio on the graph right now is pretty good. So this is, of course, no financial advice, but I just want to show you guys for educational purposes that given this is an A, B, C, even if we had a little bit left to complete the wave C to come down here, I would not assume that it's going to be going all the way down here to 0. It's most likely going to be coming all the way down. If we have yet to complete it, we're probably just going to come a little bit lower, maybe down to 30 cents or down to 20 cents at the very lowest. So if you were to invest right now, you may experience another 50% drop to the downside. Actually, that would be even less. So assuming we go all the way to 20 cents, that would give us about a 50% drop. So that would be, in my opinion, the worst case scenario. And you know, the real worst case scenario is that the fundamentals, of course, crumble. This turns out to be some sort of scam, whatever it may be, and it goes to 0. In which case, if you were to invest $1,000 at the current price, you lose $1,000 bucks. But if you were to invest $1,000 bucks at the current price, and this were to indeed be a 1, 2, and the fundamentals were to remain positive, then assuming we come up for that wave 3, which is going to come all the way up here around $50 US or $60 US, then you could be 100xing your initial investment or even more. Now that's my take on the graph from an investment perspective. I think it has some major upside potential in the near future. And of course, do your own research on the graph before investing in it. Don't just listen to me. I'm just some random guy online. So just take that with as you will. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one in the Discord server. Take care. Bye.